Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is NFC Now, show number 55. I'm Julien Virgin, and stepping up to the plate, none other than the Filipino phenomenon, the Reaper, the right-handed man that's willing to knock your ass out at any time, man. He got a big fight coming up, ladies and gentlemen, versus James with a Y. James with a Y. I believe it's Hater. Excuse me for getting that wrong if I get it wrong, but, listen. We're a home team over here. We're rooting for the home team. Nobody other than Nathan, the Reaper Rivera. Nathan, what is up, my boy? Happy Wednesday, man. Thank you for taking time to join me.
Absolutely, man. How are you?
I'm maintaining, brother. I'm trying to figure out how are you, man. You in Florida? What part of Florida you in, man? Tell me about it.
We dropped in Orlando, and then we were 30 minutes out from our hotel. So I got Brantley here, I got Reese, and I got Bree over here.
And the whole gang.
The whole gang, man. We just got done with media. Reese and Brantley just got a workout in. Bree was on the bike upstairs too. So everyone chilling.
I just saw the video you posted on Instagram just talking about just being surrounded by those, everybody that's there right now. Could you just begin to explain what it means to be going into war, but just to have, your soldiers right next to you?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I really wouldn't want to do it any other way, especially like how much we work and what we put in every single day, in camp, out of camp, we're always working. So for us to be at a stage like this, it feels good. It feels good to be getting paid and at this big promotion where I get to show off what me and Coach have been working, what me and Reese have been working and represent Georgia in a good way.
A lot to break down there, man. You talked about the work that you put in on a day-to-day basis. Could you just begin to explain to myself and the entire NFC community what the work looks like even leading up to getting an opportunity to fight with this big promotion?
I mean, so it was different than normal. And I came off of a camp, which was good because I had a smaller camp for NFC that fell through. And then, excuse me, a couple of days later, I got a call to BKFC. And then, that was another smaller camp. So it kind of made one big camp, but I just shifted all my focus to boxing. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, I'm Coach Brantley up at Lima doing my thing there. And then on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'm with my old boxing coach at a Last Laugh fight team in Marietta. So I've been kind of shifting all of my focus to boxing.
It's a different sport that you're about to compete in, correct?
Yeah, and it's boxing is a whole entire different sport than MMA, and then bare knuckle boxing is a whole nother sport from boxing itself,
Bro, look, a lot of people think fighters are crazy as hell to be doing what they do. But, when you go to the next level and take the gloves off and you're doing bare knuckle, man, what kind of space are you having to get in mentally to even just say like, and how did the conversation go between you and your team? Like, hey, I'm about to go do a bare knuckle fight.
I mean, Coach is over here laughing. I mentioned when I was like, like getting towards the end of my amateur career, I was like, Coach, man, sounds pretty cool, man, over there. And he's like, dude, hell no, we're not going to do that like right now. And then, I mean, the opportunity came and I don't know. So, I mean, you answer this question and tell me what you think, right? Would you rather get kicked in the face by a bare shin or would you rather get punched in the face by a bare knuckle?
I mean, neither. Again, I come on this podcast every day and I'll be like, I am not the fighter, so I cannot speak. I don't want to get hit, bro. I'm like, brother, I just said it earlier. You a good-looking dude, Nathan. Not every fighter in the community is a good-looking dude, bro. You about to get into a bare knuckle fight. You feel me? This is different. You see where I'm coming from?
I feel you. My mom said the same thing. Oh, no, not your face. But I mean, I don't know. So I think about MMA and the threats of MMA.
Yeah.
Somebody grabbing your head, kneeing you in the face, or somebody kicking you upside your head versus, boxing, which I'm very familiar with. I had, a lot of boxing fights as an amateur, like USA boxing fights, and I feel comfortable throwing my hands, and that's definitely where all my knockouts have come from, is my hands, So it wasn't that crazy of an idea for me, but it definitely took, I wouldn't say some convincing, but some, like I had to say, all right, hear me out. the entirety, of what this opportunity could do for my career.
For sure.
After I laid everything out, I think coaches and were on board and teammates were on board just because, they want what's best for me, and they wouldn't put me in a position that they don't think I would grow from,
Indeed. Now, does this go on your professional record as well?
Not for MMA. So it will go on like a boxing record. And then
okay.
Even then it's a little bit different than like your regular boxing record. Like it's its own thing. And BKFC's rankings, they have their own rankings, and it's in bare knuckle fights. So you go to look at the champ right now. I think he's 4-0, in BKFC. The other fighter, the challenger, I think he's like 8-2 or something like that. So there's a lot of like build up and things around this one promotion that kind of make it a big thing.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan the Reaper Rivera joining us here on NFC Now, show number 55. Nathan, now this is a bare knuckle fight. Could you just begin to talk to me about the strategy change? Like it's a completely different sport. There's no padding on the gloves. How does this change your strategy going into war?
I mean, so the only difference between this and then like amateur boxing do a lot of is you can't clinch. So in bare knuckle boxing, you can clinch a head and you can just sit there and there. So in boxing, you can't hold it any at all. These are still 2 minute. So these are 2 minute rounds, 2 5-minute rounds. So it's a 1 minute longer than an amateur MMA fight. It's 10-minute fight. But the strategy, it kind of carried over from my last fight, which was stay on the outside and pop my shots off and move my feet and fake and feint and and counter strike quite a bit off this guy that I'm about to do. But it's not like that much of a difference. I put the shoes on. It took me a good week and a half, 2 weeks to like clear my mind of, thinking about my stance for someone to shoot, or thinking about a leg kick, or, if I feint a lot of leg kicks or hip strikes or anything like that. Right. Or I feint with my hip for any strikes on my knees and legs. So it took me a little bit to get out of that mindset and just realize that I'm just boxing and I can't, you're not really going to feint around. And
what about the fact that like, hey, like, you don't have any protection over your knuckles. And so it's like where you place your strikes.
Yeah. I mean, so you definitely have to be a little bit more accurate, nose down is ideal. I would say probably. I don't want to punch anyone on the crown of their head. And usually those come from throwing bigger hooks and stuff like that. And I tend to throw more in tight, precise shots. So that has never really been an issue for me, even with gloves. I was concerned about my wrist because, I use the gloves also to strap down my wrist so that they're pretty tight. But I was talking to Brad over at Barber Orthopedics, and
shout out to Brad. Shout out to Barber Orthopedics. I see they got y'all on lock over there. Shout out to them.
Taking care of us. I wouldn't be here fighting if I didn't have the assistance of Barber, if I didn't have them in my corner, because this is a dangerous sport, and things get broken, I would say quite a bit. So if I didn't have, their help with this whole camp, with my career, I don't know if I'd be here.
Indeed. I got to give you a lot of credit, Nathan. First of all, we have not spoken since your first professional bout. And I just got to say, man, just the simple fact that you're going out here and doing it and just trying different things, man, whether that's in the amateur ranks, man, you consistently fought. And then you got your first professional fight just a couple months ago. And now you're doing bare knuckle. It just goes to show that, hey, this is a full blown dedication.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's this is like if you're 99% in, you're 100% out. Percent on the sport. There's no off season. Coach says it all the time. You can't get off the bus. If you get off the bus keeps going. So it's all, it's definitely all or nothing. But yeah, man, it's I forgot what you originally asked. I'm sorry.
I didn't even say. I just made a statement that like, hey, I see you. I'm just recognizing the work that you're putting in. That you're just consistently going out there and competing in different disciplines.
It feels good, man, because it's one step closer to that goal. Everyone asks a lot, like, is your goal to be a UFC champion, or do you want to be in Bellator, or do you want to be boxing in this or this? And like, my goal has always been to be able to put food on the table for my family and through combat sports. you know, and if this is a quick avenue to put me there, then I'm all for it. You know, if I don't have to punch a clock every day and I can do what I love with the people that I love every day, that's my goal. That's my dream. So
Listen,
it's my good for me, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, man. When you did the quick little panoramic of the room, man, it seemed like they got y'all some space in there now. You know what I'm saying? They got you in some nice. It looked like everybody comfortable. It looked like everybody real comfortable in there. You, my man Reese over there doing stretches. You know, y'all laid out on. They got you some nice accommodations, man. So they taking care of you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, this is the first room. We have like our bedroom with the view over there. They have like hot tubs, jacuzzi, and all that stuff. And they're really BKFC is a common, like they're so nice, bro. Like they have somebody like a assigned driver to us, so we don't have to Uber anywhere. You know, they take us to the store, they take us to get food, they take us to the airport. I mean, like they really are taking care of the fight.
Like after this, like they got to talk to you nicely. Like you now you're experiencing some things, right?
Yeah,
trip.
I mean, cool, man, because I mean we put in so much, you know, so to be at this stage as such an early pro, it feels good, and it doesn't feel like oh man, I'm too unexperienced to feel this, because the amount of work that any fighter goes through is just hard work. You know, it's all hard work all day. And I mean, some fighters they don't have to work, you know, and stuff like that, but it's hard balancing life and fighting and all that stuff, and to get treated like this, it feels really great.
You deserve, as I said earlier, man, you deserve from the work that you've put in. Now, you're preparing for this opportunity. Can you tell us any about James, man? Like, what kind of scouting have y'all done over your opponent?
He's 5'10", I think. So he's my height. He has a 70. I do a lot of research on my.
Shout out to you.
I really dig it, and Brantley does too. Reese does. We watch film, we take notes, we compare notes, like it's the whole thing. But he is a 73, 5.5 inch reach. He is about my height. He was 35 southpaw, but so I couldn't really. I mean, well, I was like it, but he blocked me on Instagram. Once he blocked me, I was looking at other people's accounts, and he started doing a lot of orthodox work. So I don't know if he's become orthodox, but he's pretty wild in there, bros.
The fight takes place on Friday, correct?
Yeah, Friday, and I'm fights start. I think the main card starts at 9, and I'm in the main card.
Okay, we still have a little bit more to go. I know you're on a little bit of time limit. I just got a couple more questions I want to get through to you. And please tell us, how can the NFC community tune into the fight, and where can we find it? Just right now, I know you put it on Instagram, but now that we here, I need you to go ahead and explicitly tell everybody, so don't nobody be like, "Oh, bro, where after weigh-ins, or you getting your hands wrapped? Oh, where can I find the fight?" Nah, bro, you gonna hear it right here. Go ahead.
So the weigh-ins will be live on YouTube at 6 o'clock. And I think if you just type in BKFC 53 weigh-ins, it should pop up, or you can go to their YouTube channel. And then the fight itself will be on Fight, where NFC used to show their fights, pay-per-view, unless you're a member. And then it'll be on BKFC app, and then what is it called? Turbo or Fubo?
Fubo, yeah, Fubo TV. Come on now, some of us got Fubo. We know about that.
It will be on Fubo. It will be on the BKFC app, and then it'll be on Fight as well.
You said you just got through with doing the media rounds, and I saw the pictures and everything, man. Like, how did that experience feel for you? What kind of questions did they ask you? Did anything catch you off guard?
Yeah, I mean, so the whole process, I mean, when they picked me up, I got interviewed by one of the commentators, both of the commentators. And what was his last name again?
Chris Lytle.
Lights Out Lytle. He fought Robbie Lawler. I mean, he fought
Josh Koscheck.
Josh Koscheck.
Shout out to Josh Koscheck with the blonde hair. Shout out to my man.
He's like a OG in the game. He was like there interviewing me, which was kind of cool. And then they dropped us off, and then we did like photos. Then they pulled us aside, and they said like, this is all going to be confidential. Let me ask you some questions about, you know, things about the fight. And they talked about different strategies and things they can talk about during the fight, kind of how NFC will shoot out that little message.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. So they did that. They asked a lot of questions there. then I did the poster signing through them, and everyone was just really kind and really nice. And I met the media guys. There's two different photographers, and then there's the poster signing. Then they got somebody separate to do like all of your walkout stuff, and it was really cool. And they let me, they let you kind of be yourself. So I was like, hey, can I get a couple pictures like holding the Filipino flag? And they were like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. They're like, we'll send you some of these or whatever. But so I was able to represent. And,
are you feeling comfortable in this process, man? Like now that you have a little bit of experience, through the NFC and through other promotions, you doing what you do, man. Like, do you feel comfortable when these people are asking you questions? Are you feeling more like yourself?
Yeah. I feel pretty good about, being myself is what got me here. So
facts.
I can't change it up now, and I never would, because I like myself. And if I didn't like myself, I would do something about it to change it.
Indeed. I feel like everybody in the NFC community likes you. As I said earlier, man, there's really not anything negative spoken on Nathan Rivera. Now, I didn't really truly ask you about where you are mentally, Nathan. You're about to go to war, brother. You about to step into it.
I've been itching. I mean, the last fight that got canceled, I was a couple days out, on weight, following the weight cut process, and that fight fell through. So I've been itching to fight, and I've been excited. I've been very excited, and the right amount of nerves for me to perform exactly how I should.
I feel like we have a relationship, and the NFC community is very familiar with you. Could you just talk about the right amount of nerves? What does that exactly look like?
I mean, nerves keep you sharp. Nerves keep you game, and that's like a primal thing that like humans have, that we've had for a long time. When you get nervous, you tend to perform. Some people can tend to perform. In those times, your senses get heightened, and you feel sharp. So if you don't have those nerves, everyone's different. But for me, if I'm not really a little bit nervous about the fight, not necessarily nervous about myself, but nervous how I'm going to perform and how I'm going to represent my coaches and my team, I don't know how I perform. So I feel excited. I'm enjoying the process, and I'm taking more time out to, enjoy the process and just like live in the moment. Whatever comes next is going to come next, because I've never done this process before, like NFC or any MMA fight. The process. You have weigh-ins at this time. You have face-offs right here. The whole thing. But this is kind of new, and we have schedules and everything's very well written out. But you're kind of going with the flow. So I'm just kind of going through what they say and living it.
Between you, your team, Coach Brantley sitting right next to you, man, what's been like the overall like word or phrase that's been consistently being said as you prepare for this?
I mean, right now things are pretty mellow. We're just working on getting the weight off and stuff like that. But I mean, throughout this whole practice, it's just been, you're too sharp, you're too fast, you're too accurate with your shots. You're well prepared. You're well conditioned. You're the best shape you've ever been in.
Just positive reinforcement. Man.
Yeah, just positive
reinforcement.
A lot of stuff like that, and it's just been, everything you think in your head, you're saying out loud. Having your coaches and all the people that you respect their opinion very, very highly say it to you. It makes an impact on your performance. Sure.
What are you walking out to?
What did I was bouncing between two. I'm saving bankroll for.
Okay. I was just curious. No. Look, I'm just curious. I just want to feel some of that energy. I just want to channel my inner Reaper. You know what I'm saying? Fight night. You feel me?
Teach me how to live, or show me how to live. By Audio Slave. I think it's Teach Me How to Live. One of them, I don't know. That shit sounds good though.
Does it sound good, or does it have like a lyric in it that like makes you just like that kind of like locks you in? Because there's certain lyrics that I listen to and it's like, oh wow, it's like it makes you just want to just yell because it just hits that spot. You know what I mean?
I always pick my walkout song like whenever I'm doing road work. And I was doing road work, and I think it was Show Me How to Live. Yeah, it's Show Me How to Live by Audio Slave. But I was doing road work, and I just was like going, and I was just envisioning this fight. I was thinking about all the work I've done, and it sounds so like fucking cheesy. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about all the work I've done.
You can be cheesy with me, bro. We can be cheesy together, dog. It's all good.
And then I just hear the song, and it's going. I'm like, all right, this is my walkout song. That's usually how it goes. How I pick my song. At the beginning of camp, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna walk out to this, and then it changes.
Yeah. Are your parents making the trip?
My pops is coming out. So right now it's Bree, Reese, and Coach Brantley, and then my dad is flying out, and Hayden, who does all my media, is flying out the day.
Haystack Films. Haystack.
And then Chad and his girlfriend are coming out, and Zay, my other teammates, coming out, because flight tickets were real cheap coming to Orlando. So a lot of my good friends are coming out to support and stuff like that. My mom, she was like, hell no. I'm like, come on.
Shout out to my Dukes. I'm sure she'll be tuned in. Again, let everybody know where we can find this.
This is on Fight TV, the Fight app, BKFC app, and it's on Fubo. And then the weigh-ins are live on YouTube at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Nathan the Reaper Rivera, man. The entire NFC community is standing firmly behind you, man. As you prepare to cut that weight, I see you got the whole team there. And as you prepare to make that walk and go into war, what do you want to leave me and the entire community with?
Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Julien, for putting me on here. You know, even I'm not fighting for y'all's promotion, but y'all are still behind me, and it feels really good. And I appreciate the support from everybody, because it really does make a difference. I was talking to the driver out here. He says, yeah, some guys, they come out here, they have no family with them. They have no team. It's just them, no corners. They don't have anyone cheering for them or rooting for them back home. And you see the difference in performance. So I really appreciate, everything. It means a lot more than people think, I think. So, but yeah, thank you.
Man, we had to make sure we made it work. And I appreciate you making that time. I know you got other business to attend to. You got the whole fam there, man. Shout out to y'all. Nathan, you go into war with the Reaper mentality, with the whole Philippines behind you and the entire NFC community, because as we say very frequently, we may fight in the community, but when the community goes out there to make a fight, we are all behind you firmly. So God bless you, Nathan. Shout out to the entire team, and it is nothing but love. Soo-woo! Y'all be easy, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Julien.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan the Reaper Rivera here on NFC Now. It is nothing but love. Make sure you catch him Friday night, BKFC 53. I hope I got it. It's 53. I think it's 53. Let me do some research real quick. But it's nothing but love. Shout out to Nathan the Reaper. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. Again, happy Wednesday, special Wednesday edition of NFC Now. We got to make sure we get the people what they want. We got to make sure we talk to y'all. Again, sorry about Monday. Had business to attend to. My next guest can understand, because my next guest is a young journalist. He's not an aspiring journalist. He's just a journalist that is young and is going to continue to get that experience in becoming the best journalist he can be.